NetDocuments is the leading native cloud-based document and email management platform for law firms. NetDocuments has over a decade and a half servicing firms, enabling them to increase productivity, security, compliance, and information governance for managing documents and email in the cloud. Seamlessly integrated with Microsoft Office, Adobe, imaging systems, and many third-party applications, firms are simply getting more done with built-in business continuity, matter centricity, enterprise search, mobility, and collaboration. In this demo, you'll see firsthand how NetDocuments' modern DMS platform, purpose-built for the law firm, delivers enterprise features and a world-class infrastructure, combined with personal productivity tools that meet the most rigorous demands for today's modern practice and global legal professionals.
Hi, I'm Mark Duncan, and I am a Senior Account Executive here at NetDocuments. Today I'm going to give you a quick overview of the NetDocuments cloud-based document management solution. As we look at a day in the life of the average user of NetDocuments, there are a number of different ways they can potentially interact with the system. First and foremost, all they need is a browser. So as we look at the system here, all I'm doing is logging in via the browser, and from here I can access the entire system. There are multiple ways a user could potentially interact with the system, but two main ones that we see are searching for documents or going to a matter-centric workspace. Let's start with a quick overview of searching. All of the searching in NetDocuments originates out of this very simple search box right up here at the top of the page. And this box never moves. So if a user asks, how do I search? The answer is always the same. You go to that box. This box functions a lot like Google in the sense that you can type anything that you're looking for and NetDocuments will find it. But in a law firm, oftentimes users know at least a little bit about the document that they're looking for, such as maybe the client, the matter, the date it was created, or even the file extension. And in those scenarios, they'll click Advanced Search, which will take them to a page that looks like this. From here, NetDocuments allows the user to put in any information they know about the document, and we will run a search and bring back any documents that match that criteria. In my example, I'm going to cast a very wide net and search for something as simple as the word agreement. Within a couple seconds, NetDocuments comes back and says, here are any documents anywhere that contain the word agreement. Now, of course, these are any documents that I have access to that contain the word agreement. Now, as great as searching is, for a lot of users, that is simply not the way they want to interact with a document management system. For many users, they would rather go to one place and see all of the documents and emails for a particular matter. And that, of course, leads us to the second fundamental way people interact with NetDocuments, matter-centric workspaces. A user can access the matter-centric workspaces over here on the navigation pane on the left-hand side, where they'll have a simple box that says Search Client and another one that says Search Matter. In these boxes, they can type anything they know about a particular client or matter. So for example, I believe the matter contains the word bank. They can simply type that and NetDocuments will begin to predict. The user can choose the matter over there on the left-hand side, and NetDocuments will refresh the page and bring them to what we call the global matter file, or in other words, the matter-centric workspace, where NetDocuments has dynamically and automatically organized all of the documents and emails for a particular matter onto one simple page. What NetDocuments is doing here is we're simply automatically organizing the documents by document type. Now, this is completely customizable to the firm. So in my example, I have agreements and emails and correspondence. Again, each firm can customize the layout of this matter-centric workspace, and they can even have templates based on practice area or matter type or whatever it may be. So NetDocuments automatically organizes all of the documents exactly where they're supposed to go. And of course, from an information governance perspective, that is essential, and it's one of the fundamental purposes of a matter-centric workspace. But one of the first questions that comes up from the average user is, how do I deviate from that? I appreciate the organization of this matter-centric workspace, but I want to create a trial binder or perhaps a closing docs folder that only myself or my secretary or my team can access. In NetDocuments, that is as simple as choosing workspace options up here in the upper right and choosing Add Folder. So the user chooses Add Folder. They can create whatever folder they want. They can, of course, create subfolders and sub-subfolders or whatever else is needed. And of course, they can adjust the access on this. They can make it so that only they see that folder, their team sees it, or that everybody who has access sees that folder as well. And last but not least, as we go back to this matter-centric view, another very common use case that most users encounter is, how do I share these documents with someone outside of the firm? In NetDocuments, there are two very simple ways of doing this. First, users can go up here again to Workspace Options and choose Add Share Space. Share space is simply the NetDocuments nomenclature for a secure document portal. Furthermore, another very common use case here is there are times when you need to share documents with someone outside the firm and they're simply too large or too sensitive to send via email, but creating one of those shared spaces is perhaps a little bit overkill. In that scenario, you can simply right-click on one or many documents in NetDocuments and choose Deliver a Secured Link. This will pop open this very simple dialog where you can simply send a secure link to someone outside of the firm. So that is searching and the matter-centric workspace. In addition to those two areas, there are two other pages in NetDocuments worth mentioning because they are unique to each individual user. One of those is Recent Docs. If a user clicks Recent Docs, we will simply show them the 40 most recent documents that they have edited, opened, and added in the system, regardless of which Matter workspace they may be living in. So if you log into the system and you say, oh, yesterday I was working on a document, going to Recent Docs is probably the quickest way to access that document. In addition to Recent Docs, another page that's unique to each user is something called a home page. The home page is the first page you see when you log into NetDocuments, or you can always get back to it by clicking the firm logo in the upper left. Here's an example of my home page. Not only is it unique to each user, but they can customize it with whatever section headings that they want. So I've created a section here, heading here called Documents Needing Attention. What a lot of secretaries or paralegals will do is create one called Attorney Jane Doe or John Doe or whatever it may be. But the point of all of this is as you go through NetDocuments, you've noticed that there is a star next to every single item. You create a folder, there's a star next to it. You create a document, there's a star next to it. What that implies is if that document or folder is important to you, it should be one click away. So what you can do is if you star a document, so we'll take this Power of Attorney document PDF, the next time you log into NetDocuments or the next time you go to your homepage, whatever you starred is right here ready to go. So the next time you log in, you don't have to browse, you don't have to search, you don't even have to go to Recent Docs. Whatever is important to you is one click away. And finally, we are well aware that there are a lot of people who are hesitant to access a document management system, and they may be uncomfortable or unaccustomed to going through the browser to access something like a document management system. For those users, oftentimes their point of interaction with document management is Microsoft Office. What NetDocuments has is something called ND Office, which is our integrations into the Microsoft Office applications that allow users to seamlessly integrate or interact with NetDocuments without ever leaving those applications. Case in point, they can actually fully interact with NetDocuments without ever touching the browser. So to show you an example of this, I'm going to minimize my browser and open up Microsoft Word. So I've opened up Microsoft Word and I'm going to create a brand new doc. Once I create that document, I hit save. And what you're going to see here is a dialog that looks and feels like Microsoft Office, but if you look very, very closely, at this point, we're fully interacting with NetDocuments. So you can file this document wherever you'd like. If you'd like to profile the document, all of those profile fields are here, client, matter, author, doc type, or whatever it may be. Or of course, you can simply file directly into the matter-centric workspace. So there are all of those dynamic, automatic document type filters created by NetDocuments. In addition are any of the custom folders that user may create. So the point of this is that the user can save or open or interact with NetDocuments without ever leaving the Microsoft Office application.
Hi, my name is Mike Sanders and I'm Senior Solutions Expert here at NetDocuments. Today, we're going to look at all things Outlook. So as we look at my computer screen, you can see I'm simply in Outlook. I have a list of emails right here, and on the top right-hand side, we see a predictive filing area. Now, as I select one email to the next, if I go to the next email, you'll see my predictions change real time. As I highlight an email, we analyze the properties of the email, the sender, the receiver, the recipients, the subject, the content, and then we look at filing patterns of people throughout the firm. We base those predictions on where people have filed emails similar to this in the past. And as I look at those predictions, you can see that those predictions in my case are client and matter based, and they're based on rank. So the highest ranked location where we believe you should file it shows at the very top. And as I look at the predictions when it's time to file, it's as simple as checking a box. And as I check the box and then I can move off my email, go to the next one, you can see on the left-hand side, this email now has a global filing indicator. This indicator shows to all people throughout the firm who have filed this email, simply with one person filing it. Now as I click the email, let's say somebody else filed this email, as I highlight it, it's going to tell me exactly where that email was filed. And maybe this person did file it to the correct location, but as I look at the content of the email, it actually applies to multiple locations. I see that I have additional predictions. In fact, here's my Bank of America client, my merger with ABC Bank. If I needed to file it to this pension lawsuit, all I do is select a second location, or a third, or a fourth, and file it to multiple locations. If I need to file it to a location that does not show up in my prediction, just right down at the bottom, all I need to do is start typing where I want to file it, and it gives me a list of locations that match what I've typed. So I can file to any location within NetDocuments simply by checking a box. It's very powerful, it's all at my fingertips, and it's all within NetDocuments.